guys, just wanted to stop in today. One of the things that I'm hearing more and more when I'm talking to leads, when I'm talking to agents that are talking to leads, especially buyers that are looking to buy in this market right now, the big pushback or the what I call a knee-jerk reaction, excuse, whatever you want to call it, for not buying right now is, well, we're just going to wait for interest rates to drop. I would say that's the number one thing we're hearing. Number two would be, well, we're going to wait for sales prices to come down a little bit. I wanted to kind of address kind of how we're handling that conversation, and get into a little bit of a script and some ideas, to plant some seeds in your mind on how to explain to people how the real dice roll, the real risk, is continuing to wait. Okay, and there's a couple things you can share with them that will make that conversation a little easier for you. So, first of all, just trying to time interest rates. If you talk to anyone, any of the economist type people out there, they're going to tell you that's one of the worst strategies you can have is trying to time rates. No one can time interest rates and what they're doing. House prices have always gone up historically. This is a great graph that I'm sharing with you right now from the Cromford Report. If you don't subscribe to Cromford, highly recommend it. They've got so many great reports, and these things are so valuable when you're trying to explain to people. But just an example, this one goes back to, this is the median sales price in Greater Phoenix area. This is just Maricopa County. But since 2001, when average price was 135, we went up, and this is how you explain it to people. We went up and up and up, and then the Great Recession hit. Boom, we went down to 116, and then look what we've done since 2011. I mean, we've had this talk for the last 13 years with people, but sometimes it's good to bring this back out. And since we are, I don't know if you guys have heard, but we have shifted now officially, pretty much anyone you talk to, including Tina Tambor and that group, we've moved into a balanced market finally. I just sat in on a webinar with her yesterday. So anyway, prices got up to 470 in 2022. We hit a little dip there when interest rates spiked. It freaked everybody out, but now people are getting used to it. And the big statistic that is being thrown around out there right now, depending on who you talk to, most people seem to think that a 1% drop in rates brings 5 million buyers back into the market. That's a powerful statement to use when you're talking to these buyers that are saying, I'm going to wait for interest rates to drop, because when they do drop, they're going to be back into a competitive multi-offer situation market again, like we all enjoyed in 2020, 2021, parts of 2022. No one wants to go through that again, including the buyers. So you want to bring up the fact that when rates drop, that's going to bring buyers into the market. Very obvious. That's floating around there a lot. The other big thing that I'm telling them is, I have had a little bit of feedback or pushback on that, saying, well, when rates drop, aren't more sellers going to put their homes on the market because the rate, even if they're sitting there at 3.5%, or 4%, which, remember, 65% of sellers are at 4% or lower right now on their interest rate. Isn't that going to allow them to make their move? They're going to be more comfortable. We'll see more inventory hitting the market. Personally, I don't think sellers are going to get excited, and I'm not an economist, but I have been doing this 25 years, so I've seen a lot over the years. I think that until interest rates start with a 5, we're not going to see sellers justifying in their own mind moving away from that 3 to 4% mortgage. Now, it could even be 5.75 or 5.99. They need to get over that psychological hurdle that's in their mind that a lot of them have, which is, hey, I'll stay here forever because of this 3.5% rate. But people, people don't just move because of interest rates. They move for lifestyle. They want a bigger home. They want a smaller home. They want to live in a different neighborhood. They want to get their kid in a different school district. Okay, a multitude of reasons. But I have the opinion that, waiting for rates to drop is basically a knee jerk. I call it a knee jerk statement. It's similar to, it's just human nature. We walk into a Nordstrom's and someone meets you at the door and says, "Can I help you find something?" We're always going to say, "No, I'm fine. I'm just looking." And we didn't just drive to the mall to just go look, unless you enjoy just hanging out at a mall and walking around, killing time. It's the same thing when you're talking to these potential buyers and they tell you, "Well, we're waiting for interest rates to drop." Call their bluff, okay? And I'm not saying to be salesy about it. I mean, you have to believe in what you're saying, that by waiting, it's going to cost them money, because these home prices are going to keep going up, and they're going to go up even more when more buyers enter the market. We don't have that inventory that we were hoping for. So they're the ones taking the risk by waiting or using the excuse, "We're waiting for rates to drop," or "We're waiting for prices to drop." That's where the risk is, okay? Getting into a home now, even at 7.1%, we all hate the quote, and it's even hard for me to even say this, but the old marry the house and date the rate thing. As much as I hate saying it, there's some truth, there's some validity to that statement. I mean, they can always refinance when rates do come down. Now, no one has that crystal ball, and you have to, say that to them. But, you need to turn this thing around and say, honestly, you're taking more of a risk by waiting, because the one thing we know is going to happen, based on this chart we're looking at right now. Look at what's happened over the past 13 years. We've gone from 116,000 to 470, unless we have a major catastrophic event, a complete financial meltdown like we did in 06, 07, and 08. Prices are going to continue to go up. So anyway, great chart to show them. And the other thing that I ask them is, what is the worst thing that can happen? Okay, what is the worst thing that can happen in this situation for you? And they might say, "Well, what if rates go down?" Okay, well, you refinance. Okay, what if prices go down? Those are the two big things that you kind of get into a little bit of a discussion with people about. When they start talking about prices going down, you show them this chart. What is the worst thing that can happen to you if you buy today? That's a very powerful question, and makes them think about what's the worst case scenario here, and then you've got a way to kind of guide them through their thinking on that. Now, we're not going to force people to buy homes. I get it, but and some people just don't want to talk about what the real reason is that they don't want to move. Maybe they're afraid they're going to lose their job next month, or maybe a spouse has lost a job. Maybe they're getting ready to go through a life change, a divorce, or something they don't want to talk about. That's fine. But when they hit you with, "We're waiting for interest rates to go down," be prepared to be the expert and walk them through and make them think of the worst case scenario, what happens here, and just be the professional, be the consultant, not the salesperson. So anyway, you just need to remember that people move for their lifestyle, not their interest rates, and you need to sometimes you need to remind them of that. So anyway, just something that I'm using now when we're talking to people. Gets us more into a discussion about facts, rather than just hearing them say, "Well, we're waiting for interest rates to go down." "Oh yeah, no, I know they're supposed to come down here over the next 6 months or so. So I'll call you back in 6 months." No, get into the discussion with them. Be the professional, be the expert. Okay. So anyway, hope this helps. Something that we're using right now, and working for me, working for us. Let me know if there's anything else I can do for you. Have a great day.